I'm going to use Gapminder just to look at one other thing regarding extreme poverty in markets. And we're going to look at India, China, and Ghana. So you can see here, as China embraced the market economy, look what happened. They immediately, the percentage of their population, starting here in 1981, they had 84% of their population living in what would be considered extreme poverty. By 1988, it was down to 56%. India in 1978 started out with 66%, and by 1988 they had it down to 54%. So we have two of the best performing countries. Ghana started here in 1988 at 51%, and you can see what's happening here, especially with China. China embraced the capitalist economy. Okay, it's a form of state-controlled capitalism, there's no denying that. But they have succeeded in the period of, 1981 to 2006, 25 years. They have succeeded in taking their population that lives in extreme poverty from 84% and lowering it to 16%. They've almost inverted it in one generation. Effectively, that's what they've done. In one generation, they've inverted the situation where previously 15% did not live in extreme poverty. Now only 15% lives in extreme poverty. And 25 years is accepted to be the length of one generation, which gives you an idea of how extremely effective embracing market capitalism is in terms of actually raising people out of poverty. If you remember, we had that video clip of Milton Friedman when he said back in the 70s already that the market economy was the best way, was the only known way to lift people out of poverty. Well, the Chinese experiment is a proof of that. Ghana itself also started to embrace a more sort of capitalist approach. Their improvement has been very good. I mean, starting from a base of 51 and lowering down to 30, they've had a 40% improvement. Not as spectacular as China, but then Ghana does not have the same kind of centrally controlled militarist economy or political structure as China has. Okay, so to a certain degree, the lack of political freedom in China works in their favor when they're dealing with something like this, because it once the decision has been made to become a market-driven economy, then it is literally driven from the center, and all the resources are poured at that one goal that has now been set. So you get a very, very rapid response. Obviously, there's also sorts of other things that come into this equation. There's the fact that they invested heavily in education. They got trade deals going with countries all over the world, etc., etc., etc. So it's you can't oversimplify it, but it does highlight the impact that changing from a centrally controlled sort of Marxist, communist type of economy to a more capitalist open economy, and obviously also going from an inward facing to an outward facing economy, and the trade issues that go with that can have on the quality of life of your people. We're not saying they're very rich. I mean, the Chinese have gone, although they're not bad, hey, at $4,909 to have gone from $970 to $4,500 or $5,000 in 25 years as a GDP per capita when your population is more than 1 billion people is pretty damn impressive by any standards. Anyway, that was a little spiel on that. Have a good day. Maybe economics is not just a dismal science. We have moments of happiness as well. Just to counteract the last statement made in the previous one. Have a good day. Cheers.